Oh, it is. It's just very quiet. Okay, it was. Okay, it's actually working now. Still don't know why it does that. I've asked and people are like, it does what? That's scary. Um, I tried opening the save, um, and it crashed. So I don't know what that's about. But while this is loading up, I guess I can talk about how I decided to ditch the tracking software that I was using and switch to something newer doesn't that is updated and doesn't it properly um, is integrated into modern Android systems. Uh, I'm just flat out using VTube Studio now. Um, I didn't know I could port its capture data over to VC Face, and I apparently need to think about switching from VC Face to a different tracking software that might actually be newer. I don't know yet. I I think I'm gonna try to spend a couple days just trying to tweak with tracking. I kind of got the hands to work a little. I tried to get the hands working a little better, but then it's not it's not on. uh, it it's pure. I opened the tracking screen and the screen is just pure white. There's it's not. Let me just try restarting the tracker. Oh, there it goes. Now it's working. Um, but one thing that you might notice is that I actually have a bit better tracking. It tracks where my head's looking a little bit better. Uh, I can move side to side, kind of moves with me. Uh, Having some hiccups from it being a new tracking software and all. Every now and again, like my shoulders pop forward and backward, and that makes some things jiggle that I'm not used to jiggling as much. Um, but it doesn't constantly give me a angry furrowed brow. I have to actually put effort into making my eyebrows go that low. So that's nice. Um, so let's try again. Are you gonna work this time? Gonna play nice? I'm hoping it's playing nice. Before it didn't even give me a crash report or anything. It just closed. It just closed the game. Um, I'm having to use tweezers to open this milk container because this milk bottle because oh, it just closed again. It didn't even give me a crash report. It just closed. Why is my arm doing that? Where where are you going? Where where are you going? Anyway, Um, don't know what this is about. Let's see if I can't find the crash report or something. Exception in server tick loop. Oh, it looks like it's an issue with either supplementaries or Moonlight Library. Okay, let's see if supplementaries got an update recently, and if that's not the case, Moonlight Lib needs to be backdated a version or two. Oh, there it is, an update for Moonlight Lib. Happened like must have been like a couple minutes ago because I was just looking like, hey, did any mods update recently that I would be interested in adding? Which I considered adding Eureka, but nah. If the water was deeper, I'd consider it. But the fact that I didn't make the water that deep, it doesn't need it. Um, I'm just gonna make basically a tower on treads that it kind of looks like a boat. Well, correction. Um, in Japan, they have these. They have a festival in Osaka where they race parade floats pulled by hand called danjiri, and danjiri, um, specifically ones in Osaka, if they have one where they race, they try to get the danjiri through town as fast as possible, and this is a near ton weight parade float that is on wheels that is being pulled by like 200 people, and they pull that thing through the streets so quickly. I'm pretty sure people died. I know. I've seen one person talk about how someone crashed, and at least like 6 people had to be taken to the hospital for it. Because when you get something rolling that weighs like nearly a ton in wood and plaster and metal fittings, and you pull it up to like 30 miles an hour racing around city streets, bad things are going to happen. But it's such a psychotic, fun mess that was instantly charmed by it. Doesn't help that one of the most easily found pictures of it has a bunch of people sitting on top of the float as well, and one of them is just the guy's. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a short sleeve like jacket that you would wear in during festivals and things, and he had that wide open, exposing his like bare chest, and he had like not like the folding fan, but like the pedal, the leaf looking fans, and he had one in each hand, and he was standing on top of it. Right. So that it specifically pointed out that Moonlight Lib had a server crash. So this should work. Oh, I just realized that my tracking is like, it's got me way over here when I need to be like Okay, so I need to adjust the tracking for a second there. Is this better? Am I looking in the right places now? Yes. Do you not like that I'm talking so much? It's okay. There it goes. Let's hope. Where's my cursor? It's hard to find your cursor when it's on your OBS window. I don't like my odds. Um, but give it a second. Okay, it just okay, yay. Yeah. All right. All right, bud. What do you got for me? Oh, right. I talked to you last time. You don't have anything for me. Well, what an unfortunate lighting. Uh, Let me see if I can't. Okay, there we go. Fix the lighting. Mostly, I think. Yeah, close enough. All right, so I think what my one of my main plans is going to be. Let's consult. Where is it? Let's consult the goals clipboard. Not finished with that. Not finished with that. Okay, so none of what I have there is easily doable right now. Actually, no, never mind. I kind of beg to differ. Uh, what would be an easy way to get slime? Crushing slime blocks, killing frogs and slimes, bulk freezing magma cream, or a name tag and sand. What kind of recipe? Supplementaries? How in the hell does that make sense? Um, there's dough and lime dye, but I feel like I could have sworn there was a way to turn magma cream back into magma blocks. That isn't because if I do this, it's gonna do this. It's not gonna do this. Probably. I could grab some magma blocks. Chip. So I don't think there is a way to turn magma cream back. Magma blocks back into magma cream. Which is a tad unfortunate. There is crushing wheels, which means lime dye and dough would be the best option here. Because I could do this, but I could also just have a chunk that generate on a slime chunk, and it generates slime. I'm on a super flat. It's not like it's hard to find slime. It's just I just never want to run out. What was I even going to need that slime farm for? Now I remember. I need it for asphalt. And I've only got 370. I'm going to need a lot more than that. Looks like this is already full. I didn't leave spacing. Yeah, I didn't leave enough spacing for it to be, for me to be able to turn it off. Oh well, if I need to, I can make spacing to turn it off. But right now, not a big deal. Okay, so definite plan is now to make a asphalt farm. So I definitely need I need asphalt. Quickest way to do it. Yeah, I need some sort of slime farm, and yeah, the best way to do that is there's only one real good way to do it. I just don't like it. Because it's not very efficient compared to just making a slime island. Wait, can't I just... Can't I just buy, like... Yeah, this'll work fine. Can I turn it back into slime naturally? I can. So, you know what? Do I have a compacting drawer at all still? Yes, I do. It's a normal one, but honestly, I don't care at this point. What are you doing there? Probably, yeah, I put it there to... Oh, it's full. Add in upgrades. No. Proper upgrades should suffice. just need unlock this. This. And then I guess I'll just do something with this. So that got me 6,000. Don't need to worry about it anymore. I can just have a spot where it's like, yeah, just plug in the slime here, and everything else will be already done. Okay, so asphalt. It's a block that when you walk on it, you walk significantly faster. In order to make it, you have to use scorchia, slime balls, and gray dye. And the way to make scorchia, unfortunately, the only way is to use black dye on scoria. Scoria is going to be easy. I can generate that. Biggest cool thing about the new tracking, when I take a drink, my head doesn't like jerk around like I'm part of an exorcism. So likely one of the possibly easier ways to get black dye is gonna probably be a wither rose farm, which means I need to make a miniature rose farm. Now, I had no idea if this is gonna work, so rose. Oh, do I not have any? Oh no, you need a poppy. That's what you need. And then some bone meal, which does mean that I'll have to use bone. I'll have to use the skeleton farm that has tons of bone meal. So it's looking more and more like I'm not going to have like a factory. It looks like I'm going to have something I have to supply manually. The majority of things, everything except scoria. And then it makes it for me, which is unfortunate because there's no real way to have the bone meal constantly generate and the wither. I'm gonna need to put bone meal in there. It's looking more and more like I'm not gonna be able to make one unless I have some serious infrastructure. Because only way to get bone meal is bones. Surprising to say, but now I could use that white dye a different way. Is there a way to generate a bone block? I doubt it. No. Okay. So basically, yes, the only good way to get it is that a default recipe? No, that's added by pork. That makes sense. If I crush a bone, got a chance to get 6 out of it, but I have a chance to get white dye, and I don't think I'm gonna need the white dye. only way to get gray dye is either a byproduct from clay dye. I mean charcoal, uh, crushing coals or ink sacs. And I'm gonna need an equal amount to the amount that I get from black dye. Not a 10% or a 10% to get to. Honestly, the charcoal isn't bad. Downside is I'd need to put wood in there, which means I would need to have. Granted, that would be a lot easier to supply than having a whole thing that generates wither roses. And I do prefer the gray compared to just black asphalt. It gives a richer color uh, difference. So I think I'm just gonna have it use gray. Use charcoal then. Because a 10% chance to get two isn't exactly one guarantee every time, but there's no other way to make gray dye than just crafting it. So, though painful, this is a painful setup I have to do. So I have to. Because if only there were like a flower or a bone is like gray this hard, no, I could use another flower for that. I could use 3 flowers for that. I can use multiple flowers for that. But for some reason, normal gray dye is not that easy. I think I'm just gonna have uh, areas that I can just plug in. Like I'll have a drawer that's just okay. You put black dye in here, and then it gets applied to the scoria to make scorchia, and then you can. I think that's realistic. My only good option here. It's getting cold in here. Um, give me a second. It's getting actually really cold in here. Okay, I had to walk over to my front door to make sure it latched all the way, and it's fully latched. But the floor around the front door is also really cold. Okay. Um, yeah, I think my only good option is to just have drawers Or, okay, how many drawers do I have? Okay, I need to make some single slots. Oh, that's new. I need that. I need it for... Okay, so let me grab dye. I miss when bone meal was white dye, but okay, so I need a drawer for each for the gray and the black dye. Then I need a drawer for asphalt at the end of the track. Yeah. But I also am gonna need some more liquid chocolate in order for the scoria to work. But for now, I think I can just put it like a drawer. I mean, like a chest there that I can put scoria in. So, oh, chaff, it's not chaff. Need two shafts actually. Again, SH, not CH. And I'm gonna need two belts, that way I can lengthen it as I go. Okay. I'll just use the chest for the scoria, for the extruder location. Okay, so extruder comes out. It comes out onto here, and then it needs to get turned into scorchia. Scorchia is made not like that. Oh, I also need one for the slime. Good catch, good catch. Okay. So I don't know how the auto crafters, because Quark, the angel that it is, added a backporting specifically for the auto crafter from 1.21. Now, I'm not entirely sure how it works. I might have made one. No, I haven't. Options. Automation. Crafter. Oh, it's not called auto crafter, it's just called crafter. Okay. things I expected not to have. Okay. So I know it works based on a redstone signal, based on what slots I enable and disable. Downside, okay. No, I can tag them individually. So if I have, let's just grab a hopper. I don't have any hoppers. Okay, so if I, what's a quick and easy example to test? Let's go with gray dot. Get a white and a black dye, and then I can just okay, so now I have to check if I press this, does it just reset the recipe and it won't remember? Because that means I can't do shaped recipes in it. Which would be the most unfortunate outcome. Because if it just places it like that. Okay, so I can't do shaped recipes in it. Which is unfortunate, but potentially still useful at some point for other stuff instead of something more immediately useful to me. Which means it's going to get a lot harder a lot quicker. Because in order to make asphalt, I need this. Now, the only all right, so I don't think I'm going to need a belt. Positive here. Thinking positively, I'm not going to need a belt. I'm actually going to need a depot. Do I have any depot? No. Right. Oh, it needs to be a normal. No, it needs to be a casing. So it's going to be complicated, but a lot simpler to set up, I guess. It's actually going to be very expensive to set up, but it's going to be simple to set up. Left over? No. So I'm going to have to make 18 mechanical crafters. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Not a good deal. So essentially what I'm going to have to do. So here's huge advantage I just remembered. It used to be that mechanical deployers that hold saws, I mean, that were taking damage would eventually take damage. Issue is that the fix is that I don't need to worry about this whole experience system anymore. In fact, it just works now. I don't have to fix the deployer. So all of this is now useless. Well, I'm pretty sure no wait, it got, let's remove this. What is that powering? Oh, the encased fan up there. Okay, so I don't need this. This. Ow. Oh, damn it. Forgot when you take damage against those bricks, they break, which is a thing I should be able to turn off. But uh-oh. Was there something powering this that I just broke and it missed? I missed it? Oh, no, wait, I shouldn't have broken that clock. I didn't need to break that clock. Right. Yes. Oh, okay. I need another cog. Okay. Didn't break that time. That's nice of it. That's cleaned up. That's cleaned up. So that's actually everything. That gives me one arm to work with. Yay. And some brass funnels. I'm going to need a lot more brass funnels than this. It's secret. It's going to need a lot of brass funnels. I guess the one advantage is that I can make it asphalt in whatever color I want later. Oh, I broke the lever for the light. Don't know why it's not working now, though. Should be well empowered now. It should be running. Have time for this spawner? What was the code? Bone and wither skull and bone. Maybe I have to flick it, turn it on and off again. Bone and wither skull. Okay, okay. I guess I need to go fix that later. But either way, that gets me some materials saved. Because now I'm only going to need to make one mechanic. So, two. And it saved me some depots. So might as well casing, just need some casing for quick block placement. This why can't I set oh there. This one is exactly 1. This one is exactly 8. So that's where I'm gonna store it, and that's where I'm gonna put the black dye. And then the mechanical arm is going to be above the crafter. Let's go make 18 crafters, I guess. I'm pretty sure I can do that all from in here, so. Couple of those. Because that's what I'm going to need for 1, and that's what I'm going to need. I made the perfect amount. So. So. Over here. And that's where the Scorchia is going to end up. I have to make more changes. No, wait, I can fix it just fine. Doing this. Place all of them. Then I need some cogs. just, I'm gonna need 4 at least, which is all of my chain drives, but still. Merge in, I'm sorry, what? Wait, what? I wasn't aware it could do this. So, I guess I'm grabbing a hopper again. And if I say put a hopper on here with a drawer on it, I'd be able to replace it with a pusher upgrade. Actually, do I have that? Do you have a pusher upgrade? So let me just... I put a pusher upgrade, a drawer here, with a pushing upgrade to push it south. And then fill it with, do I have any scoria? Not on heats. Oh my god. So that just instantly makes things a lot faster. I don't need the mechanical arm anymore. Actually, no, I think I am going to need it. I'm just not going to need it for this step. So I'm still going to need it for the next step. That's crazy to me. I didn't know you could do that, and that's going to improve things a lot quicker. Because that means I'm just going to need to put a drawer here on this end for the scoria, and then a drawer here for the black dye. And when it's powered, it'll automatically distribute everything into those appropriate slots, and then put it right here for the scoria. And then the mechanical arm will be like back here. Take the scorchia out, place it in the correct slots, which that's what I'm gonna need a lot more brass funnels for. But that's the black dye. So I just need it's actually not going to be back here. It's probably going to be like up here or something. There. Can I make chain drives work with this? No. No, I don't think I could. So, best option is to not use chain drives here. Bring this up one, not over one. Grab some cog. And do I have a... Oh, no. Carding. Yes, I do have a double card ahead. So option here is this, that, and then that with this like that. And then its range might need to be adjusted. Like I may need to move, move this over one, but this is just the planning phase, so. Move this over now. And then to get pushed west. So essentially, I just need to cover this whole back bit with funnels that have filters on it. And then that's being made into Scorchia. So the two things it needs are now, does a pusher upgrade? Let's make a pusher upgrade. I don't have more. I should make 3. Just yeah. I don't know why I can't pick them up multiple times to stack them, but oh well. Alright, so that goes there, and then also needs to push west. And that's where the black die gets put. Come back here and look at it. Yep, 1 black die. That means it'll just automatically craft those into Scorchia. And then, so all it needs are, oh, okay, and then can a drawer, so that'll be the Scorchia, and I only need 2 other resources, so this and that. So if something has the pushing upgrade on it, can I have it? Oh, that's good. Okay. So if it has the pushing upgrade on it, it doesn't need a hopper or a drawer. So it could just take resources from this and these two depots, which are each going to correspond to slime and gray dye. And then it can take the Scorchia from here and then apply it, and then over here is where the asphalt gets placed. If it has a pulling upgrade, I suppose. Actually, I don't know if that works. There's only one good way to find out. Let's go get my creative stuff. Just got to grab the creative cogwheel for now. Just so I can power this crafter. And it doesn't need to go fast because I'm just checking on speed. Oh, I'm not checking speed, I'm checking whether or not I can just have something get outputted directly into it. Okay, it does get automatically put into it. But that doesn't help, actually. It does need to go into a deployer. Otherwise, it won't have anywhere to pull it from. So I'm not sure why I did this. No, wait, I did it purposefully. So I could check if it worked on this end. So now that I do, I can just place it there. I think I don't have anything else to figure out. I think that's everything to figure out. I just need to power it all now. Well, I have to make more mechanical crafters. Not mechanical crafters. Brass. Well, need a couple of them, and I should be enough, but it's not enough. You need that one extra. Okay. So, asphalt. I want gray. So corner is slime. And then scorch it. And the center is gray. So okay, that works. And I can blend that works. Right, so this is going to be a complicated setup. It needs to take from these and then deposit into these. Due to range limitations. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just that and that. Frog here. No. Frog like that. Oh, no, wait. You can power these from the bottom, can't you? No, I think I remember. Yeah, you can't power the bottom. Like making this difficult, don't they? It's not the prettiest solution, but I think it'd work. Is there a way to make it prettier, though? Best I can think of is to... No, that wouldn't work. No, damn, there's just no way to make that pretty, I think. If I bring it down one before I bring it over one? And I can have it sit here. And that's not perfect, but it could be, but it's better. So take. Place, and place. Okay, it works. I can adjust it as necessary, but it works. I can just cover that up. I would prefer if it didn't look like that, but you know. Okay, so all that's left is powering these, which is just as easy as that. Okay, I still have the code with me, right? Yeah. I'll be able to slap a motor like back here, but for now, then it's going to wait until it gets taken out. But that's working. I won't do that entirely too quickly. How much is in this? A single quart. But a half gallon is 2 quarts, and I do not drink a half gallon that quickly. Okay, that's running. And hey, it works. Take that off. Do I have another motor, or am I gonna have to make another? That's unfortunate, but understandable. I'm gonna have to make those the hard way. Some brass sheets, copper spools. Gonna have to make more brass. It's 2 motors worth. Oh, look at that. Copper spool, which I have only 2 for. Iron rod. Plenty of those. Andesite, some andesite alloy. Which I also have plenty of. And then a capacitor, which I am almost certain I don't have. Yeah. Yes, I need copper and some zinc. Some of the things I don't need. GB just. Oh, yeah, hello. When did you type that? I didn't see when you typed that chat. Um, so with the most amount of pain in my heart possible, I have to tell you that I actually work that Friday. Um, if my tracking breaks, it's me checking my schedule. Yeah, my tracking broke, but it's fine. It's giving the mental breakdown that I'm having. Yeah, I work Friday and Saturday this week, but I am off Sunday. Um, no wait, no wait. The game doesn't launch until it launches on the 28th, right? Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, it launches on the 28th. Um, so yeah, it's not next week. It's the end of the month, very last day of the month. Um, I still work that Friday, super unfortunately, but I am off that Saturday. So I can play that. Just delay it by like a day. I won't even touch it. I'll be nice and not even touch it because you know me, I will play for several hours. Um, when I get my hands on that game, I get my hands on it. My hands should be working. Okay. Capacitors. That, that, and then that. These here. Yeah. I the unironically the worst part is that it looks like I am going to have one day off that entire week. I am going to have the Saturday after Monster Hunter Wilds comes out off. And that is it. Uh, connector. Okay, I have one connector. I need three. And how many? So here's the thing. I am going to be able to join one stream of yours this week because I have tomorrow off. And that's it. I have tomorrow off, and then I'm working every day until Saturday. Or make more wire though. Nope. Cancel. Put in and speed that up a little bit. Doesn't need to be max speed. I'm gonna be honest, Helldivers does sound a little bit more fun. It's been a while. One is less depressing to play, considering its current development state. If you have a better, if you would prefer to play Halo, I get that. Oh, you bought the pass? I have to ask, why did you buy the pass? Because you were worried about FOMO? Yeah. A gotcha game would eat you alive. Yeah, I get that, I get that. No reason you can't play like some Halo Infinite on your own, but I get why you wouldn't want to either. All right, that is one of my, that is, I don't need the slime farm anymore, really. So I'm gonna check mark the streets even because the plan was an asphalt factory when I typed that, but okay, so if I get some bone meal, black dye, ink sacks. How many ink sacks do I have? Only 15. Yeah. Oh, I don't. I would recommend the bigger one, but the two-fan cooler. But if you would prefer to save money, you can pick the one-fan cooler. They're not going to be the difference is going to be slight, but not important. If you know what I mean. You currently have a two-fan one. It's just that, you know. Yeah, I get it. I'm currently looking at basically having to do like, oh my god, it made the wrong die. Can I undo that somehow? Nope. It just made the wrong die, and I wasted all of that white bag. Oh well. Yeah, I get it. The difference between like $120 cooler and a $50 cooler is pretty distinct. And the biggest thing is that you need to check distance length tolerances for that graphics card for your case. Because I couldn't. The information for your graphics card tolerance is not on the specs, so you're going to need to check that manually. I don't think the card that I listed as bad. Now, I guess I can work on why this isn't working. Crank it to 1 right? Bring it off and on again. See if that. Weird. It should work, but it's not. Is there light coming through somewhere? It makes it so thing because it looks like there's light coming. Some lighting issues around, so that might have been. Seven. Weird. Why is it all of a sudden not working? Working last time I was here. I ran it. Okay, let's try the quick and dirty way of covering these up. That help? Oh, no, not really. Good. Why is it on fire? That on so I don't have anything spawning when I get in there. No, I could just make a slime spawner. Is it working out? No, but why? Why were you working before, but you're not working now? Your mod didn't get an update, so there's no reason it shouldn't be working. The mega torches don't affect spawners, though. Configure access other mods. Torch master. Let's try changing that and see if that does anything. I'd have to back out and come back in, but oh, also, I talked about it earlier in the stream, but I upgraded my tracking software, and I think it looks a lot better than it did before. Um, so much so that I can do stuff like this, and it doesn't look like a janky mess. Now I just need to do things like making it so the hair doesn't clip into my face when I do that, and adjusting the tracking so it tracks my mouth better. So that might just be a problem that Androids just can't do. Because somehow Apple is the only one that's figured it out. Go figure. Wait for like 4 minutes while that does that. What's crazy is I'm pretty sure someone could get the tech. Okay, so it's still not working. You know, I don't need it right now, so I can just... What's this going? 64, not bad. Ran out of slime, though. Spare goggles. Do I have any spare materials for another pair of spare goggles? Here you go, buddy. Okay. So I think... What's my next step? That's my next step. I think it's gotta be setting up. I don't want to try to set up more gates yet. I want to try to get probably more gates is probably an off-stream thing because it's mostly me just setting up things that just automatically get done. So I think I'm gonna swap out this for spruce because I have enough oak for now. So not spruce, birch. That's fine. Oops. Sometimes that happens. Close. Okay. Yeah, that in there. Have you seen much of this build? Much of what I've been doing on this world? I mean, you're seeing most of it right now, but I will say all this water, it didn't the world didn't generate with it. I think you recognize this. I can do all sorts of things with these. Like I have a spray. I can make a spray can that like posts a little sticker. But I mostly plan to use it for stuff like this, and then like paintings of actual builds around the uh, around. And then I made this, and then everything just started going wrong. There were so many in here that it was causing lag issues. uh, Ignore why the lava is there. There's a reason, but there, you know. So in Create, when a system, when there's a block that can transfer fluids, and when there's 1,000 of that fluid, it considers it infinite. Well, 10,000 buckets of that fluid, it considers it infinite. So I went to the nether and pumped out over 10,000 buckets of lava and then pumped it into this. and then it gets pumped into this tank and then into these blaze burners for steam engines. And then it comes over here, where it gets turned into electricity. And then the long process of it getting transferred over to the island for actual use. A lot of the builds that I currently have are have kind of been broken apart because I didn't need them anymore, or I made something more efficient. Like this hole was what I made at the very first, because the best way to stop slimes from getting to you when you're in when you're in Superflat and slime chunks are everywhere is to have a wall or live in a hole that's covered up. So this is the leftovers of that hole in the ground that I would just had a wall around this to stop slimes from coming in. I plan to put an elevator there. Little factory with all the different stones. Basalt and blackstone and tough. Also, I almost considered streaming on your server, but then I realized I need to do a lot of other work in order to find out what I need to do for it. But oh, what is going on over here? Why is it back? Why is it going slow? Why is it not working? So you're seeing create stuff right now, and I want you to. This is one of the aircraft that gets added by a add-on for the aircraft mod. It's a biplane, but it's a big biplane, so it can carry 2 people. But this base is too small for everything I want to make, more than likely. So I'm going to have to make separate islands out in the distance to do stuff like effectively farm. Which, this is a decent farm, mind you. This is pretty good. Almost all of these are maxed out. I'm throwing away food right now. My koi fish. It's named Pepsi. How are these guys doing? control when I'm in hit shift. How's this doing? 1.1K? You can turn that shit on. It is on. Okay. Does it work? Sounds like it's working. Oh, 16 andesite, not a single iron ingot? So that should be a good amount of asphalt. $64 is at least good enough to get some of it placed. If I remember right, asphalt works with them. Oh, the 21st was marble rails. Okay. Oh yeah, that's when the thing and Human Torch become playable. That's Friday. But you know, I work Sunday. So basically, I have to make this pattern across all four sides. I'm gonna need to make a clay foam. So I said that the water wasn't there naturally. 2,000 blocks of water in every direction. Uh, the only structure that spawns naturally in this is the stronghold. And it doesn't spawn normally. It kind of spawns as like a bunch of jagged pieces that are floating in the air. Now, I only have needed to go to the end. Now, see, it looks crazier than it is. So, what I had to do is I just dug a trench at a square trench at 2,000 blocks out. I didn't have to dig out the whole thing. I dug the trench, and then I used a device that lets me just delete the dirt, like as if it were creative mode, and I can just look at it and go delete it, and it just wipes all of the dirt. So all I had to do was make uh, two sides to the square in a trench, and then fill that with water. Then I just went through and deleted all the dirt, and it auto-filled with water itself. Oops, I am drowning. Most of this work was off stream. I did a couple tries to make it see if I could make it work on stream. See if I could make it work with other fancier ways, like using trains. Um, I certainly as fuck wasn't gonna dig it manually. I tried a few different ways, but then it ended up being the only good way was just the block deleter item that you can buy. Where? Okay, I'm about there. It is. So the plan is basically just delete all of this. Delete all of this except for the portal room, and then make a tower for the portal room. This isn't the one I had powered. That's a completely different one. But I also added mods that change the clouds, so there are a mix of shapes with different heights and stuff like that, so they look nicer. And then it's fairly obvious. I found a skybox one mod that adds a bunch of night sky stuff. Oh, there goes a shooting star. Let's try to get towards an edge, so I can show you what I mean. That I just have a item deleter. Sphere. No, cuboid. 5 blocks tall. And then max else. Is nothing? Oh my god, I just realized I might have set it to peaceful, and that's why. Okay. That was why the spawner wasn't working. So I just have this thing, and it just lets just lets me delete blocks. So that's how I was able to quickly remove thousands of blocks. And the water is a lot easier to deal with. Sure, drown spawn in there, but that's only at night. Slime spawn all the time. No matter what light level you put it at, it doesn't matter, they'll spawn. But they don't spawn in water or on bedrock. So the easiest way to make sure nothing spawns is to not have anything available for them to spawn on. Okay, which one is this? That's the desert one. Oh, dang it. That happens sometimes. My workshop is too powerful, and sometimes it deletes itself from it causes a whole. It's still there, mind you. It's just, you know. Fun fact, that's why I have 633,000 dirt. Just so happens. This is also basically the only creative thing I allow myself to use. Because this mod, because you can't get everything on Superflat, adds a shop where mobs will drop occasional money. I turned that off because I don't need drops from mobs anymore to function. I could live where the only thing I ever need is to kill slimes. Nothing else. So I turned off money drops, and if I need money, this thing is printing $1,000 every 20 minutes. Well, not 20 minutes, more like every 2 minutes. I have $1.25 million. Money means nothing to me. But at the very end, do have stuff like you can buy a dragon egg or an elytra or a warden spawn egg. I don't know why you would, but you can. Wither skulls, fractions, fragments of a nether star. I fought the wither. I never need to. Wither skeleton skulls do the job just fine. I mean, nether star shards do the job just fine. Sniffer eggs, animal spawn, stuff like that. But it also has the creative shop, which I only use for 2 things. Well, 3 things. The creative filling tank, which is what powers my jetpack and the grappling hook that you've seen me use. And the World Shaper, which is what I was using to delete all the dirt. I have, however, used the creative vending upgrade. I sometimes use the cog wheel and the motor for like testing builds before I actually hook them up to power. But I use the creative vending upgrade, which all it does is make whatever item you put in there infinite withdrawal. So whatever I put in there, I can get infinite of forever. So I didn't want to break the game like this, because half the fun of playing it, especially with Create, is making machinery to build and make stuff for you. So the only thing I have in this are confetti poppers. And that's all I use the creative vending upgrade for, is to make a big old confetti popper generator. I need nothing else from this. There's some late game stuff that I am close to do. Oh, I ran out of score again. That's fine. That's fine. That's what I ran out of, not anything else. It's like. But. Okay, I guess I need to look for the next thing I want to do. Well, I did just say clay farm. Might regret that, but actually I would need to restart the world in order to do it, because I'm gonna have to get into the workshop. But also I need to double check that my weather skeleton farm is working again. Yes, it is. This dirt. Bring that back up to 64. Yes, kill them. Kill them. And then if I feel like I don't need it on anymore, I just flick this light on and it turns it off, basically. You can see the machine that's using the sword to just punch with the sword is swinging the sword at the skeletons that they spawn in. So yeah, this is my computer tower. It's got a bunch of drawers here for materials that I need. Bee farm. They're not out at the moment, but basically just pump the honey directly out of it. And I've got two here that use shears from underneath to make them shear the two of them so I can get honey. Oh, here they are. I have a gay one somewhere in here. There it is. There's my non-binary bee. I didn't add a mod to do it. It just had it, and one of the mods just had it as a setting. And I'm like, eh. Some of the bees will just occasionally be some flags. Ow. It's not worked once, huh? I want you to imagine how big my base on the server would be if I make, you know how I have like all the botany pots? Now imagine how big the base would be if I had all the botany pots to do and stuff like iron farms and like all these separate farms. Bamboo farm, sugarcane, beetroot, potato. This is the flax from supplementaries, tomatoes, carrots. Oh, this is broken. The other broken ones. Nope, all the rest are working. This was originally made from a mod pack that only had like 60 mods. But then I'm like, but what if I wanted to make the mod pack? So there are about 220 mods now. 90%, a decent amount of them don't even do much. I think they do like one or two things, and that's it. But, I kind of did make add like 150 more mods to it. Because it was originally tagged as light mod pack. But then I'm like, but this is a light mod pack. There's only like 30 mods that actually do stuff. Display toolbox. All right, so I guess I need to reload the world in order to get that up and running. But I kind of want to show off one of the things I'm going to do later. Oh, when you said something about Marvel Rivals, I thought you were going to do it on Saturday, but that's fine. Is this one functional? No, that one is not functional. Do I have a functional one somewhere? Don't think I do. No. No, I don't. That's fine. I think I can make one rather quickly. Uh, so it's just something like this. And then a brass gearbox. No, wait. No point in doing that right now. First, I gotta make it a physics object. Tried adding a mod that makes the 1.21 changes to stuff like the chickens and cows, but I'm probably not gonna go through with it because they kind of looks like shit compared to the actual ones. And for some reason, they all just like are dropping their eggs in one spot. I don't know why. Okay, so that's a physics object now. Just go ahead and pick that up. Don't need it right now, but you know. So just place that there. And I'm gonna need this, this. Inverted clutch here. And a gear shift there. Creative motor there. Redstone link here. Here, here, and here, and also there. Now I just need two kinds of, let's just go with white and black dye. That, 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 for that. I don't remember what I need this for, honestly. Oh, now I remember. I actually need this for that, and I actually don't need this. No, wait, I did need this. I don't remember how these work. How did I set this up? seat, then pop there or something. Crank that up to 64. And then it's just this, 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 that. Just alternate them, and I'm gonna have to add one more row to the front here. And I can just if I did this right, which I usually do, I didn't actually. Oops. Okay, I did something wrong with the... That's not supposed to be working. So I think I pick it up? No. So I'm gonna need that back. Oh, that was the problem. And okay, it's going backwards, but that's better than it not working at all like before. All that means is that I need to do this. And there we go. I have a drivable tank. The texture change for these things is so horrifically gate capped. So the way you have to get this texture back is you have to download a mod pack called Tank Tussle, and they exclusively, you can't get it anywhere else. It is only on their mod pack that they look like this. In other mods, I mean, in the normal mod pack, they don't have ones for the large cogwheels, so I can show that off. In the normal mod pack, they look like this. It doesn't look very tank engine, does it? So you can only get this mod pack by going onto their Discord server and downloading it off of that. Only way to get the only way to get these. And then you have to take the resource pack off of that mod pack in order to use it yourself. I hate the increased prevalence of Discord mods. I hate Discord mods. I mean, I hate community mod communities on Discord that don't share their mods elsewhere, and they only ever have it in one location. I hate it. But to give a sneak peek on what I want to do with the ancient city, is I'm planning to rebuild every base structure, like this house here, and renovate it so I can basically recreate an ancient city before it was ancient, and then make it a farm, the farm Venice, basically, out in the ocean, to where each building has like ways to generate either flowers or other crops, or maybe they're an animal slaughterhouse or something. So I am basically going to go through and go replace all the sculpt with actual blocks and rebuild the entire building, and then go, okay, so what can I do to remake this building to something useful? And I'm using ashen wood from Quark because in its code, it's called ancient wood. So I'm like, that sounds like the perfect use for remaking an ancient city from scratch. So I did. And this is where I built the first version of the computer tower. That was me learning how the shape builder works. So, back to the main one. So basically the plan for the autocrafter, well, for the vehicle that I'm making in the main world, is that I'm basically going to have basically going to have a tank that's sitting on the bottom of that water, and the tower rising up out of it, and it's going to look like a danjiri, which is a Japanese parade float, which kind of looks like a miniaturized version of a Shinto shrine. So it's basically going to look like that, and it'll look neat, because this is mainly going to be the main area is basically going to be Japanese themed. And I fucking hate you, conquistadors, canceling you thousands of years after you're all dead, but I fucking hate you. It is so much easier to research architecture when a bunch of Europeans didn't come into the country and burn everything. Like, I designed this thing off of table scraps, comparatively. Compared to the amount of genuine, like, still living architecture from a couple hundred years ago, is genuinely so much easier to work with. Um, and Montezuma was right. You all deserve to shit forever. Um, okay, now grind millstone. It's called a millstone. But, okay, need a second one. All right, so I need, and a lot of it. Easiest way to get clay. by crushing this. And that's going to suck. So I'm not doing it that way. But what I can do is I can only crush gravel into sand through crushing wheels. I can't do it through... I was kind of hoping it would work. I am going to need 2 crushing wheels. Unfortunate. Since I already have 2 crushing wheels, I might just make it 3. No, wait. There's a quicker and easier way for me to do this. I already made a sand factory. I mean, not sand, clay factory years, well, like a year and a half ago. And I am not above just finding the old schematic and copying it part for part. So I'm just in my folders at the moment. Moving that very schematic into the schematic folders. One thing I've got to figure out how to do is when I set up the village, I want to find out how I can get a cat. I know that cats, if there's a certain amount of happy villagers in an area, cats will spawn if there's a certain amount of happy villagers around. So let me just run to the back here. Grab this. And Snake Farm. Hopefully it's not too tall. Didn't make it to work inside of a building. I made it to work on its own outside, so it might be too tall. Nope, looks like it's just the right height. So I just need to... Looks like I need to adjust it because this is an older version. But... And then does it need to go up at all? Looks like it needs to go up. Yeah, because it's going to need to go up to go to the drawer. And then... Gonna have enough room to fit ceiling in there. I'm gonna have to put glass in the front so I don't pick up any drops from it too. But that is things that I can do functionally after I make it. Oh. way. Schematic in there. Board in. So I'm going to need 2 cogwheels, 4 crushing wheels, 11 encased chain drives, 2 encased fans, 2 gearboxes, a hopper, a list filter, a mechanical drill, and a smart chute. I think I can work on some of these right away. Like the drill. And shoot. And a list filter. And don't know if you're still here or listening, but I would definitely recommend looking into upgrading the amount of RAM you have. The amount of RAM that you have is going to probably it was good at the time, but having 32 RAM going forward is going to be a lot nicer, especially since you stream and since you have especially since you video edit. Yeah, I did put what RAM sticks you have. You just need to order another set of those. Just order the exact same set. And they're only like 40 bucks. So like RAM has never been nicer to buy. $40 for 16 gigs of RAM. Yes, the case thing you needed to check with the case was the case needs, what's the word? You need clearance for your graphics card. So all you really have to do is you have to go onto the website and check the specs of the graphics card. And then you have to, the easiest way to probably do it is just get a piece of paper, cut it to the right length, and then see if your graphics card, if that paper or piece of cardboard, stiffer, piece of cardboard would fit into your case where the GPU would be. I could answer it easily if I remembered the length of the card that you currently have. Because I remember the card you currently have has barely any space in there. So if it's longer, we might have an issue. But I don't think it is, because I remember that card being very long. Zero, zero. Bring that thing back in. I don't need any of this stuff. Cutting board maybe, but I'll have to make like a kitchenette area in my house. Right? When I eventually build a proper house. So I need 4 crushing wheels. The motor for this is going to be so damn expensive. So I need planks. I have no idea if these kinds of planks will work. So, right, dark oak. Okay, a bunch of andesite alloy and stone. Do I have any normal stone? Do I have any deep slate? The card you have right now is 280. Oh yeah, you're gonna gain space in there. I'm assuming the 289 is the card is the T80 1080 Ti you have now, and the 260 is the card I recommended. Well, also the 4070 is air cooled versus the 1080, which has a water cooling pump in it. So it's gonna be bigger simply because of that. My GPU is actually smaller than that too, and that is entirely because I have I don't have any cooling on my GPU. It is just the water block. Um, I what do you mean version two? I tried looking it up and I didn't see a version two. Or whichever one I ended up linking is the one you should go for because I did use a build guide for that because I'm like, oh, it said no versions available on Amazon. Here, let me go take a look real quick. Oh, you know what? I think it is. I remember what it is. Go for the version two because I remember now that when the 4070. Oh, when I look at it, it says there's one option. Granted, that says March 10th to a late April 11th. Um, if you look, it says no featured offers available, but if you click see all buying options, you'd be able to see that. But that's through a third party seller. So let me get back to you on that. But any 4070 would work. 4070 is probably the best card you can feasibly get right now. Um, like it's not the top of the line, but it's the best budget GPU you can get right now. It is technically better than the GPU that I have. Um, it's only technically better because yours is air cooled, while mine is water cooled, and I'm overclocking mine. And also, mine is held back massively by my 6 year old CPU. So you know, you know. So basically, any 48 and 4070 would work. Um, Now, what you got to make sure is that you don't buy a TI, because the TI is basically gonna make that price go from like $800 to like $1,200. What's weird is that there is basically no one selling the 4070. That's super weird. So also, fun fact: I was at Walmart earlier because that is my temporary job location, and I was looking at the pre-built because I was waiting for the HR lady to show up, and I was waiting for her in the electronics section. So I'm waiting, and I'm looking at them, and I'm piecing together like, okay, this part costs this much and this part costs this much. Okay, so even if I buy this and completely cannibalize the CPU and the GPU and maybe the motherboard, I would almost be saving money. This is not me recommending you go to Walmart and buying the mid-range gaming tower they have there. Please, for the love of God, do not buy Walmart pre-builds and do nothing else with them. You will set your house on fire one day. That said, if it's cheaper to buy a GPU and a CPU and maybe a motherboard, if you have other parts you can replace the parts that are bad with, well, then you're kind of good. I haven't looked at Best Buy pre-builds in a while. I'm going to assume they are better, but probably not by much. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if they were better. I don't know if you could buy a GPU from Best Buy. Well, I know you can buy a GPU from Best Buy. I just don't know if you could buy it from our local Best Buy. Right. So I realized I'm just grappling around, not doing anything. I need to check what else I need to make. Oh, okay. Just 2 cogs, 11 in case chain drive. Yeah, I know they have some. I don't know how good the 2 of them are, but I know they have some. I need 1 more of these. I don't need that for the build, but I will. And then 2 gearboxes and a hopper. So you know how you said you wanted to keep it under 1,000, and the best I could do was 1,200. If you buy a Super and or a 1080 or a Ti, that is the 12,000 might be your whole budget. It might just be your GPU. So yeah, don't try it. See if you can find not that 4060 Ti. Do those exist and are they good? Okay, so they do exist, but if you're buying one, you're probably better off just getting a 3060. I mean a 3080 Ti. Though granted, I'm looking at 3080 Ti's and oh no, there's one for 826. Here, I'll link you that one. Where's the share button? I'll just copy the link. No, that's gonna be a massive ass fucking link. Copy link. Whoops. Didn't mean to reply to that, but okay. 2 gearboxes now. Oh no, wait, did I make that happen? Honestly, NVIDIA is just the best option. I hate that it's the best option, but they're just the best option. Like AMD is nicer for CPUs, but they're on par with Intel for CPUs, except for really high end stuff and really low end stuff. But AMD is just not on NVIDIA's level right now. In fact, if you switch to AMD, you'll probably have more issues. Well, the issues you're having might literally just be the graphics card dying. It is a like a how old is a T80 Ti? A 1080 Ti? Um, and I like how my stream is now half like Googling stuff, but the 1080 Ti released 8 years ago. So the fact that the fact that it's still working is actually just a testament to how good the 1080 Ti is. Um, okay. Yeah, that's everything, which means I love the schematic and I love it so fucking much. Look at it just building it for me. And then I can do fancy stuff, get drills, and replacing them with two gold drills that are going to drill a lot faster. Now, why is it doing that? And then I can replace this whole section here. These. But yeah, I do not mind helping people with building their computers because it stops me from working on mine, something I can definitely not afford to do right now, even though I'm running with a CPU almost as old as your GPU. Now, if I remember this build, it's like extremely fast on how good it goes. What's this filter set to? Or it only lets through sand? I think that might cause an issue. No, wait, it's a denialist for sand, so whatever I put it down here is going to get filtered through. So when I wash sand, it's going to give me just clay. But when I want clay, I would be getting flint and clay. So the flint and clay, I want clay. But if I'm denying that, then if I just put a drawer with clay and flint there, it'll work fine. Oh, I ran out of dye on that one. Okay, so that there. 2 more buckets, and then a bucket of lava. It also, it's fine because this is like the first time I've ever had a string derailed, so. Lava. 5Ks just came out and 6Ks don't exist yet. But 5Ks are having this major issue that's so you know how you were looking for a version 2 of that graphics card? The reason is that when those cards were coming out, they were having this little known issue where the wires would get so hot from the power draw that they would melt the plug, the power plug. Now, this was quickly fixed because it was like a small issue with some third-party versions of that card. Um, the issue this time is that the 5000 series is having that across the board for even Founders editions. It's having the issue where some of the cords are where no, it wasn't. It was the connector was just heating up, but this time it's the cord itself heating up. So it's melting the cord and the plug and the socket the plug goes into, and basically breaking $1,000 card. You do not want $1,000 card to get bricked. I believe that's usually referred to as a giant fucking waste of money. So that's why you want to look for the version 2 of the card. That's probably also why they're not selling them as much anymore. Okay, so if I just put the lava up here. And then it's, no, if I do that, it's going to cause a problem. I need to use this. All right, that works. Okay, that works. Just need to power it. Let me grab the motor real quick. Just test. Because I'm going to need to put a lot of juice in this thing. Over in here. To this. Is it spinning the right way, though? Yes. Oh, okay. It looks like the fans don't need to go that fast. So it looks like it's dropping it on an edge where the clay can't fall. Okay. I don't know why the gravel got through, but okay, so I can do I think is whoops. Let's take a look because I think if I no, that's how that is getting power. So if I break this, that won't get power. But if I break this, they do need power. Okay, so best option is just to not these off of the chain drives. And then grab a kinetic motor. And they can run much slower so they don't actually blow items off. Just pop this back on there. They stay in the center. Yeah, the 4070 version 2 is probably why there's a version. The 4070 series is, yeah. But if you look at the screenshot you sent, if you click see all buying options underneath your address and above the add to list area, here, I can just, if you click that, you'll be able to see the one selling option. But also, the other graphics card I linked to is probably going to be just as good. Oh, hello. Yeah, the third-party one is going to take like a month to get there. So, honestly, the 3060 Ti, the 3080 Ti that I linked to is probably going to be just as good. Okay, so I think that is that set. I don't like having free access to being able to grab the items, but right now I can work on that. And that just gives me a bunch, supposed to be giving me a bunch of clay, but I see now that I have forgotten the key feature of remembering that it to put the filter back on. It has been a while since you've been here, Hours. Uh, I have expanded significantly. I do find it funny that there's stuff like the Nether portal just sitting here, and my early attempt at making obsidian, which honestly, this doesn't need to be here anymore. couple 100 buckets of lava drawer. Pop it down here or something. So this is probably, these are more complicated things. This makes asphalt. And when you run it on asphalt, it doubles your speed. This makes clay. It's doing pretty well at it. This turns basalt into netherrack, and then turns the netherrack into magma blocks, and then turns the magma blocks into obsidian. And that's all the builds that I have down here. This makes every kind of stone this particular machine makes. Stone, cobblestone, deep slate, tough, create blocks. Basically don't need to worry about building materials. The workshop. Every kind of fan interaction, every kind of processing. Big old mechanical crafter, crushing wheels, rolling mills, saws, millstone. That's for the press down there, but every kind of chips table. This one's a little bit easier to understand. This is a wither skeleton farm. That light is stopping that farm from that spawner from spawning. And you can see the hand here that pops out with a sword in it. And if I go over here, I can flip this switch and it turns on that light, allowing the spawner to spawn a lot of wither skeletons. Getting me a lot of stuff. Like infinite coal. I forgot I had infinite coal. Tree farms. Dark oak, spruce, cherry, and birch. A lot of my work in this has lately mostly been removing a lot of dirt to replace it with water and making this honestly, your bank, as long as if it goes through Amazon, they tend not to care. Um, like one time I spent like 2,000 in computer parts, and they're like, and I never even got a message. So sometimes you just don't need to worry about it. This is actually out of date. I should go get a new picture sometime. Where's that clay going? Oh, I should. Oh, right. I have the kinetic. I have the creative motor on there. Take that off. And I can put a clutch on there. Along with the motor. But just that got me 208. I'll need that. These blocks require clay. So I need to make a new motor, some more connectors. A threshold. You know what? Let's just go with the threshold switch. I need an upgrade as well. A couple of these. Sand them. By the way, fun fact, technically, if you get all those stuff, your computer is technically going to be better than mine. So have fun with that in the future. At least until I can afford to get my own PC upgrade. Me and my 6-year-old GPU. I mean CPU. Yeah, it's got mixed reviews for some reason, but I would look into why it has mixed reviews. It might just be complaining that they're overpriced or something, which those would be older reviews at that point. Okay, so if I never made the threshold switch. Threshold switch, and then redstone plate. Wait. So is it sending a signal now? Yeah, okay, so it's sending a signal now. So if I send this signal, when it hits, gets to 10% empty, it'll turn back on, and when it gets to 80%, it'll turn off. That, and then I need a clutch, which I've got a clutch. Very good. And that there, and then it's clay and flint. Motor. Definitely don't have another motor sitting around. Okay, so I need a. Do I have any connector? I have small connectors. I need a big connector for this one. Toss that oak slab there for now. So I have something to place it on. Yeah, founders cards can be expensive because they're founders cards, and also it's an old gen. So founders cards and old gens are no longer being made. So they basically immediately get turned into a collector's item for some reason. Okay, so spool. I'm gonna need more copper spools. Have any copper wire? None. So I need. Might as well just make more while I'm here. Iron. Brass. A couple more of these. And out. Oh, I need capacitor. That's what the other thing was. No way I went through all my capacitors. There were like a dozen in there. they will go? Huh? I like. Oh, I needed to make. Okay, now I know where they went. I use them to make connectors. That's what happened. Means I am now set for those for a while. AKA about one more machine. Gotta worry about taking too much power from these. They're linked in series. Which is a good reason to start setting up this inner area for a power bank. So I can have better power management. Going for about 3.5 hours, and I started an hour late, so it is like 11 something. Yeah, I don't usually run that late. In my schedule the past few days, yeah, I gotta put something in there. I guess so I don't. I guess I'll get a whole because when I get up here, I'll just be taken from it. So I guess maybe I get a hopper and then just have it push forward a bit. It's doing pretty good. Gotta check the motors later down because it looks like it's going lower instead of going higher. Might just slow it down, honestly. Okay, these two are being powered fine. Seven, 6. And then this one is... Okay, so they're not moving. They're not getting more power, which means I definitely need to add in more connectors. I need to add in a second set of connectors for the next one. But they're connected all right. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Oh, how's this doing? 1.3K. Probably fine. Though this is one of those things that needs to get moved. Yeah. That was fun. So it's a good thing I've got this going because I'm going to need a lot of clay, and I just realized that's lava. That means if I put a wooden roof over this, it's gonna catch on fire. Unless I put a block on the top of them. Which, you know, I think I'll just do that. I think I'll just put a block on top. And I should also rotate this. It's gonna break all the stuff down the line, so I've got to shut the other machines off first, but if I rotate this out and then also put a threshold switch on it so it's not. If I put a lever on this, what happens? Can I turn it off? Oh. Okay. That's going to save a lot of power. If I can just do that. And then these keep running. Okay, so I'm putting redstone links on these. I don't need clutches. Okay. I need a spool. What? What? Connector like that, and just bring it back over here. Oh, let's get reset to 28. So yeah, when it hits 80%, I'm gonna switch to this. And then when it gets below 10%, we'll switch back on. That is a decent amount. That is not the clipboard I need. That is in fact the clipboard that needs to go back into the computer. Tower. This is the clipboard I was looking for. Very far. Done. Move. Okay. Still need to figure out the timing on the amethyst in order to figure out the best timing, but once I do, it's like legitimately an incredibly easy build. It's just I need to find out the timing on amethyst crystals. No, these are dark oak. Grab a couple of these. Once I get good infrastructure on here, I'm not going to need to go around and use the grappling hook and jetpack for every little thing. Well, that breaks it up nicely. And we should have a decent amount of birch now. Let's see what that would look like as an actual seed. Okay, that's odd that it did it like that, but... Oh, I need to put an upgrade on it. Usually it's a gold upgrade, but I don't plan on... I'm gonna need a lot of bread on it. Actually, so yeah, I might as well just upgrade it to a gold one. picked it for the color palette, but let's see if there's a good texture that have as a roofing. It's probably going to be something like a herringbone, probably. Nah, not polished, but a herringbone would be good there. Trying to get the birch that's there. It'll be funny when I have to create access tunnels for the electrical wires and stuff. And it will just be me digging out holes in the ceiling, like along these support beams. So it'll just be like a grid pattern of holes that I have to crawl through. Honestly, that's gonna look really nice. With this pattern across the whole thing. Possible ban invader. Aren't you interesting? Bye bye. Wait, it's already almost midnight? Huh. Alright. I guess I'll finish placing this and then I'll end it for the night. Didn't mean to go that long with it, but I guess I am. Oh, I've got a bunch of birch to pick up here. I'll convert that to herringbone. And I'll go place it. Just went normal herringbone, right? I didn't go double. No, I just went single herringbone. Craziest thing is that I could easily stream another like 2 hours if I felt up to it. Hell, one day I might stream for like 8 hours just playing this Minecraft world, and I could do it easily. Because what I'm built for is this, apparently. I'm not built for much, but I'm built for this. Okay, so I think putting something along the roof to split to split the attention from the birch would be, from the roofing would be good. I just don't know if maybe dark oak support. That's dark oak, right? Yeah. Did it go up the whole way? Or would it be better to just have it be more dark oak support? Or maybe the dark oak support slats. Mm, if I make a whole border around, that would make the access tunnels easier to crawl through too. Honestly, yeah, that would make it really nice. Yeah, that looks good. All right, dark oak beam. It's kind of like Miku Miku beam, but just um, not anything like it. Right, I gotta some way to make that cobbled limestone. That is not what I meant. Yep, if I grid that, it's gonna look pretty good. So I think I'm gonna do some more off-stream grinding at some point. Probably just more of this, and that is more than likely it. Just making more of this. Probably putting more gates along the outside. Uh, Making a big old shit ton of the batteries here. So I can have accumulators, an accumulator area in this upper part up here. I'm only going to put like a gate on one corner, like a gate here, and then like a gate over here. And then the rest will be a bunch of accumulators and like other not so necessary stuff. The stuff I want to store up here is mostly just like fluid storage or things that I don't need to access right away. And then I can just like because I don't need it on the edges. Now let's see if I can get the elytra on and try to crawl in there to make it easier for myself. No, let me. Okay, you know what? This is close enough. This would basically give me little access tunnels to access the wiring that I'm going to need to do. And it'll save me a bunch of resources. It'll have to get like worked around to fit stuff like this and these. Hell, I might not. I might like expand them so they don't interfere with machinery, or might only. Not sure yet. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm a smart cookie. So that's going to be it for me today. I've streamed almost 4 hours. That is about my usual time, too. It's also near midnight, so it's a lot later than I usually do. I usually end around 10. So I'm going to head off for the night. I have nobody to raid, so I'll send it here. I'm probably going to stream again tomorrow. It will probably be Samurai Remnant some more, but it might also be more Minecraft. More Minecraft. Yeah, see you then.